Hello, all. Welcome to an episode of Pimp My PC. Actually, it's not an episode of Pimp My PC. I'm just going to use that name. We're going to talk about PC gaming, why you should do it, and some ways you can actually enhance your PC gaming. So I thought about Pimp My PC, kind of like that show Pimp My Ride, where you take your PC and sort of make it more ideal for gaming. So before I show you my setup with my PC and how you can make the experience better, I'm going to talk about why would you game with a PC, right? So I started off with PC gaming. Really, that's where I started gaming, and then I eventually went to console because it was just, when I was younger, it was just too hard to keep up to date with being able to afford, higher end PC. And then I went back to PC gaming. So my main incentive actually with PC gaming was I was really liking the game Oblivion, and I really liked the fact that they had all these mods available for it. So I basically got a PC, gaming PC, and mainly got it for mods for Oblivion. And so that's one of the biggest advantages with PC gaming is that a lot of games are moddable. Something like Skyrim, it's moddable, and it really makes it an endless game, but you don't have that ability on console. And I haven't looked back since. I really enjoy PC gaming actually a lot more than console gaming. Now, there's certain arguments that people make about consoles being better, such as being more plug and play, which is true. You don't have to worry about configuring different things and this and that, and pretty much you'll get a consistent experience across the board. The other biggest thing is also I like to play video games right there on my couch. That's my place. I just like to sit my butt down and just at the end of the day just lounge out there and not have a care in the world, and just basically instead of sitting at my desk and playing a game, right? So that's how I prefer to do things. I just have my little spot right there, my little haven, right? But a lot of people say, well, you got to sit at your desk and play, which, that's the setup I'm going to show you. Basically how you can make it like a console, and you just basically can, sort of sit your butt down on the couch and just play. Like I've had my friends come over and play a session of games with me, and they're like, I can't believe this is a PC. Like, how is it set up, right? The other thing is also with PC gaming is that if you do get a good setup, you can actually get higher end graphics than you can with consoles, right? So if you get something that's pretty close to top of the line, you definitely can get a better experience. And if not, just the mods itself, allows that possibility. So example with Skyrim, which came out in 2011, and if you now put mods on it today in 2015, it can look pretty up to date with today's generation. Pushing the envelope as far as your system can go, right? So that's a great thing about PC gaming, right? So yeah, just the ability to download stuff, the high-end graphics, the potential for higher-end graphics, and also you have different games that are available. Like if you like MMOs, more RPGs, then PC gaming is great. It's not so great for action games like fighting games and things like that, although there is like Street Fighter for that, but it can be limited. But you do also have other stuff like access to emulators and all sorts of other stuff, some oldies, PS2 emulators. So yeah, I love PC gaming. I still have a PS3. I don't think I'm gonna get a PS4, but there are some times when I like to play my PS3, but pretty much my PS3, I'll show you right here. This bad boy has been collecting dust since I got my gaming PC. So I've got my gaming PC that I purchased about 5 years ago, and it's still pretty powerful for today's standard. Also, I have a new Alienware laptop, which I'm utilizing, and that's more up to date. But I still find there's still plenty of power actually in an i7 processor that I bought from 5 years ago, which is great. People say you gotta exchange it every couple of years ago. I just bought a games PC laptop because I said, okay, you know what? I need a new laptop. Might as well get a games PC, right? I'll just show you actually quickly. This is my new laptop, my Alienware. This bad boy is pretty powerful, but that's another story in itself. Yeah, so I just basically got you know, got a laptop that has a little bit more juice in it, and yeah, you know, but I still can use I still play a lot on my desktop. Okay, so first thing, you know, you want to do is, you know, to get something that you can play on your couch, you want to ultimately be able to see, hook it up to your TV screen. So how do you do that? Next thing is also too, you need a way to control the keyboard. So we got you know, a wireless keyboard here with a trackball, and you also need some controllers as well, right? So this is one of my favorite keyboards, this Logitech keyboard. I'll basically place a link to the description on how to get this. I kind of prefer sort of a trackball format when you're playing games, and what's a good thing about this is on the right side, so you know, it sort of emulates how when you're playing a video game, if you don't want to use a joystick, you know, you on the left hand you know, be controlling the character, and then you know, the right hand you just might be moving the mouse and the aimer, which is good because some of them have like the buttons are all over here, like, which is sort of awkward. Then you can't use the mouse all with one hand, right? So, and this is really a super light keyboard. It's really light, really durable. It's got a really good range too. You know, I can stand back. So the actual, I'll show you. We're going to my office here. So basically this bad boy here is where the sort of the receiver signal, and I can go as far back as let's see here, and still get a response. So that's pretty far. You know, you get a pretty good range. Next thing here is the controller. So controller here, this is a pretty good controller. It sort of emulates the Xbox. It's actually a PC controller. The one thing I don't like about this controller is that when you power it on, all right, to power it off, it doesn't have an off button. I don't know why it doesn't have an off button. You either just let it go for 20 minutes and it shuts off by itself, realizing that it's not being used, or you just pull out the batteries here, you know, which I do all the time because, you know, 20 minutes per session, that's a good way to waste batteries, right? And then it shuts off. It just can't believe that they can think of an off button. Like, how stupid is that design? But other than that, it's a great, robust controller. A little heavy, you know, for my liking. I kind of like more the PS3 controllers, which are a little lighter on the hands. But yeah, you know, definitely you can, you know, you can do a lot with it. And if you get something like X-Patter, which I'll show you right here. X-Patter is basically something that allows you to map your keyboard. Oops, X-Patter. It allows you to map your keyboard, right? I won't load this up. This basically will allow you to map your keyboard and your keys to your keyboard, and basically you can just you know, play any game with your controller, actually, if it doesn't have an original joystick support. So okay, so let's look at the peripherals. Also got the stereo here too, so you know, get some nice stereo sound going as well. So the first step is you need a way to get a sort of long HDMI cable. So sort of a mess here. This is where all the mad science happens here. Okay, so one is just getting a simple extender like this. This extender all just allows you I have two pretty long HDMI cables, and this just basically continues the signal here, right? This bad boy right here. It's pretty simple. So in my current place right now, this is sufficient because the distance is not as far, but the place that I used to live before, I needed actually a longer distance, and I had actually this bad boy here, which is kind of interesting. What it does is it changes the signal to sort of an Ethernet connection signal, and then back into an HDMI. So if you want to get even a longer length, because you can use a longer distance with the these Cat 5 cables, right? Sort of Cat 6 cables. I don't need this anymore because it's just kind of it's the distance is not that far anymore. Yeah, and that's another way you can also do this creatively. It's got these two things here, which you really can extend the length of the HDMI cable. And I use this because I had to wrap it around the wall and that type of thing, right? Other thing is also I got sort of an X, like a X splitter for all the different stereo connections. So if I'm playing at my desk, I want to hear the stereo here, and I also want to hear it in the other room as well, right? So it splits it up appropriately. And then even if I also want to plug in some headphones while I'm at my computer too, that all helps, right? So that's all pretty cool there. And yeah, and really those are the sort of two main things too. If you're splitting the audio, and I mentioned as well, you got the this is the receiver for the Xbox controller, and that's all just plugged in USB. And I got the receiver as well for the wireless keyboard, and away you go. So let's play something and take a look at it. First, let's turn on the stereo here. It's not even just not just good for gaming. It's just also good for home entertainment. Like if you want to play some movies or stuff like that, then it's just kind of cool doing it this way, like having it set up with your TV, a home entertainment center. So one of the things I'm going to do sometimes when I play is I switch it fully over to the first, just to purely over to the TV, right? Because what happens is you get a little bit of V-syncing where it kind of like it layers. It doesn't quite catch up sometimes when you're showing it both on both screens. And let's fire up some Skyrim, for instance. All right. And I've got my Skyrim pretty jacked up. Pop on the controller. Oops. Okay, there we go. And kind of hard to play and hold the controller at the same time, but I'm going to attempt it. It's got some nice stereo sound coming through. All right. So we got the console experience on the PC, it's all good.
Pardon me.
Yeah, anyways, so that's all she wrote. Just so anyone basically says that the PC gaming experience can't be as good as the console is wrong. You can have the same experience as the console and more. The only thing is you do spend a little bit more, well, actually a lot more on a PC gaming. But I think the longevity is actually much longer and then you can also do other things with your PC, such as video editing and whatnot. But ultimately, part of the fun of PC gaming is actually configuring all this stuff. Just setting up all the, like when I started PC gaming using like extended memory management and configuring all that stuff, like that in itself can be a game. So yeah, man, just if you're serious about gaming, eventually you graduate to PC gaming. That's just my 2 cents. When you particularly find a game that you love, like Skyrim and Oblivion, and you really just want to mod it up, then and if you have some money in your pocket, then PC gaming is the way to go. All right, sayonara.
Hello, Gandu.